I don't get very angry or irritated with what people say in comments. I normally take it, even if people wish to personally criticize me. However, lamestream media has said something which I find so utterly offensive. Um, I'm going to call this person out and say that this is a warning, and I will literally ban the person from commenting ever again if this goes on. I'm going to read what they said. I imagine if you put a large microchip knife in a hot oven for a few hours, it would no longer scan. I think that's a reasonable point and an interesting take on the issue. I don't know how the Chinese got round that in their attack on the Uyghur community, but I do know that the Uyghur community issue of carrying knives and knife crime was very effectively countered by microchipping knives. Lamestream media goes on. It's interesting that you're willing to accept excuse for what this guy did, and we're talking about the stabbing of the Lubavitch person outside the Chabad Lubavitch house in Crown Heights in New York. It's interesting that you're willing to accept excuse for what this guy did by suggesting that the Israel PM is to blame. I've never been willing to accept any excuse for somebody stabbing somebody else, and certainly not for a demonstration of anti-Semitism on this scale. I think I was very clear in what I said, that there is a distinction to be made between anti-Semitism and valid criticism of Netanyahu. But this is about anti-Semitism, and even valid criticism of Netanyahu wouldn't justify a stabbing in the street. So lamestream media is trying to distort what I am saying, and I'm not prepared to have it. I'm not prepared to tolerate it. The person goes on, I only see this defense, victim blame, presented on one side. You would never suggest that of the far right, which is correct. They would not deserve that excuse. When you take a step back, sometimes things become a little clearer. They do indeed. One warning only, and I will work out how to ban lamestream media from the from further comments. And I've not yet. One of the reasons I haven't banned people is because I haven't quite worked out how to do it, and maybe this is the impetus to learn. But as I say, I'm very rarely angry. I am quite apoplectic. One of my mothers was Jewish, so I would regard myself as Jewish, though I was brought up in various forms of Christianity. And in my family, we have Islam, Christianity, and Judaism together, and I certainly I wouldn't accept this sort of nonsense from anybody. I don't justify violence. I don't excuse violence. I do promote questioning, and I certainly don't accept the distortion of facts by far right propagators. And I also don't quite understand why there's so many vowels missing in this post. But I suppose a lot of this is to try and avoid being censored by YouTube. But I see almost everything. I don't always comment on everything, but I see almost everything. Some things get by me. I try and comment where I can, but I take note. And I don't like somebody distorting what I say. I don't like somebody distorting or attacking somebody else on the comment section. And I put up a few warnings, and I will act on them. once I've worked out how to. It's not as easy as you think. You actually have to identify what the problem is, and then you say hide from the channel, but it doesn't always work. The person pops back. There's been a person who comments, I think in Italian, I can't remember, and has the most alarming photographs with her or his ID, and I've tried to block that, but it doesn't work. Or maybe they've got so many different identities that just keep popping up. But yeah, I don't like deceit.